But I saw
the little sizzle reel of myself before I came out here, and I decided I'm way too big for this dump. I'm kidding. When you talk like that, the sound guy goes crazy. Everything's fine. Then, everybody, thank you. I can't hold it. Listen, I can't hold this and do my ukulele at the same time. I'm not going to have you be a microphone stand,
I'll
okay?
do it.
No. Okay, you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
But first, tell us all about what's happening in Tomorrowland.
You guys.
I watch him. He's like, whoa!
We were supposed
Thunder Mountain has an onion ring shack.
We were supposed to go to a baseball game together. A half hour before he gets there, he calls. He's like, traffic's too bad, I'm not showing up. And he left me hanging there. That was what he did for me. Just kidding. He's an amazing guy, guys. Are you ready? I'm going to hold the microphone here and you're going to sing for him. I'll hold both of them.
Listen to that. I mean, can you hear that? Baby, get with the jive. Let's let them know that we're alive until the break of dawn. We'll yell for more. Gonna live it up, tear it down, get in the groove, paint the town. Got a lot of rhythm in my soul. Baby, let's go tonight together, you and me. Baby, when you hold me tight, ooh, what you do to me? The big black hands on the clock tell me that it's time to rock. I got a lot of rhythm in my soul. Yeah. That's just to get things going.
Are you guys happy that Tom is here, everybody?
Thank you. We just try to be a lively presence. Now I'm out of breath. Anyway, Chris, I know we're supposed to talk about things, and you can ask me whatever, and everything's fine, so I'll sit down like a good guy and go do the thing. And talk about movies. You know, Chris, my experience in the cinema. I was drunk for a lot of it, Chris, so I don't really remember. I think it was good. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
Well, I think there's some people who want to ask you a few questions.
Okay, great.
You want to do that? Right here.
It's going great so far, Mom.
Hello, my name's Brent. I know you have a song called Stop Asking Me the Questions.
Yes. Would you like me to play it?
Just for you. Anybody else? When I'm flying in a plane or I'm on the street, there's a lot of friendly people that I like to meet. They shake my hand but never ask my name, and they start asking questions that are always the same. Hey, what's Michael J. Fox like? Nice. What's Christopher Lloyd like? Kinda quiet. What's Crispin Glover like? Unusual. Stop asking me the question. Went to the bar mitzvah of my nephew Josh. Now I'm not Jewish, but I like to nosh. Put on my yarmulke, started to pray. When the rabbi leaned over and I heard him say, hey, was that real manure? No, it wasn't. How was that DeLorean? A piece of garbage. Do those hoverboards really fly? It's a movie. Stop asking me the question. Welcome to my life. Can we take your picture? Come on, look mean. Would you call my friend a butthead on my video machine? No. Questions fill my head. I went to my doctor said, hey, what does a key grip do? Set up lights. What does the best boy do? Help the key grip. What does a producer do? I don't know. Stop asking me the question. Do we all hang out together? No, we don't. Not much. How's Crispin Glover? Never talk to you. Back to the Future 4. Not happening. Stop asking me the question. Hey, who's the nicest famous guy you know? Adam Sandler. Who is the biggest jerk? Gary Busey. How much money do you make? More than you do. Stop asking me the question.
What are the rights for clothes?
Alright, a little Disney trivia. Alright, next question right here.
Lovely.
I'd like to know in recent history.
What's your name, sir?
I'm sorry, my name is Rob.
Rob.
Hi. I'd like to know in recent history, is there an active service that has helped restore your hope in humanity that was a little bit comical?
It's an active
An active service that you witnessed to help restore your faith in
an active
humanity.
service that restored my faith in humanity. Thank you, Rob. A lot has happened to us. Now I won't be preachy, okay? But this is no kidding. A lot has happened to us over the past 3 years. Am I right, Rob? It happened to you. It happened to everybody in here. It happened to me and my family. You know, the thing that I did in my life, acting, performing for live audiences, fundamentally changed. But an act of service that I see that has changed my life, fortunately, I see acts of service like that every day. Because everyone is being kind to one another. We all realize, you know, that our screens are taking over and it's hate this and you know the sites, you know the things, you know the sides and the warring faction, you know it all. But the fact is, when we're out there in life, we see kindness every day. I have 4 children. They're miracles out there trying to shine the light the best way they can, right? And that's what we have. The light inside of us, where we shine it out and just try to help each other. Those are the biggest acts of service there are, you know? To choose to love, to choose to be kind, to choose not to just join another warring faction and throw a rock. I mean, it's, you know, guys, hasn't it become boring to you? It's not only like, you know, scandal, how are people doing this? I just think like, oh, geez, again? I mean, come on, you know? So that's not the perfect answer to your question, but it is my honest answer, that there's acts of service everywhere, you know? There's acts of service in helping a mom at an airport because it's a pain in the neck, you know? To just reach out and help somebody in line at the grocery store or wherever, and I think, man, that's the answer. I'm not a songwriter like that, but I'd like to write that because those are the best songs, right? And that's where it's happening. It's happening from every individual starting to say no to that hatred, to say no to that judgment, to say no to all that stuff, and to start helping people, you know? I know, it's, you know, phony actor on a telethon, you know. So let's see how much money we've made for this, you know. It sounds like that, but really, people are having these honest discussions to each other, right? Because it's actually real. It's honest. We got to be kind to each other. Because there's not much choice, you know. There's stuff we all know. Hey, you go look around in a couple seconds. Yeah, you can see some pretty dark stuff. But like, wow, not great. So. Okay, what do you want? Speaking of kindness, what's your deal?
So, I want you to picture this. So, you're doing snow angels face down. I don't remember if there was a term for that or not, but They're doing that.
Stupid angels in the snow.
In Manor for 12 hours for $12 million. Would you do it?
I want you to go. Come on. Come up here. Right up here. There's a ramp up here. Okay. Ramp up here. Okay. Go to the ramp. Ramp. Okay. Come up here. Come up here. Come here. Wave to everybody. That question doesn't deserve applause. Now, what is your name?
Josh?
Josh. Okay. I want to tell you something. I want your name is Josh. Okay. Hello? Anybody home? Think, Josh. Think. It's the stupidest question I've ever heard in my life. Get off the stage. Josh.
I have to tell a story. You don't know this story. It's about you.
Oh, jeez.
We were in, because this is our 10-year anniversary. You've been to FanX one time before. And we were sitting around a planning meeting, and Dan Farr, the co-founder of this, he asked all the employees, like, if you had a magic wand and you could have any celebrity come, who would you like to show up? And I put my name, I put Tom Wilson, and Dan's like, I think we might both get him a seat. And you came. I was so nervous to meet you the first time. And when I met him, he's a sweetheart. He's one of the kindest people I've ever met, guys. He's amazing. I'm so glad that you came back. We all love you. You're amazing.
Dan, you guys just invited me because you thought, oh, we've ordered too much food. Take care of the club sandwich we made.
Yep, good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
My name's Rob, and well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for coming back, and yeah, welcome back. It's great to have you again.
Thank you, Bob.
And I just noticed that you play a great ukulele. How long have you been playing the ukulele?
So long that I should actually be much better than I am. I started in music. I started when I was in school. My first instrument was the tuba. No kidding. Okay, I have asthma. I was an asthmatic tuba player, okay? Everyone else was having a great time in marching band. I'm trying to catch up in the parade. Your turn. I don't know where you're going. So I had to reduce size. So I was in jazz band, so I played the tuba, I played the valve trombone. We're getting smaller. I played guitar. Then you start flying. As a performer, you start flying. And I was really flying with the tuba, and then with the guitar. And I thought, we gotta go smaller. So I go, ukulele. Next year, piccolo. You know, the FanX in about 8 years, harmonica. And then when I'm old, I'll just whistle. Everybody. So I'm just getting smaller and smaller, but thank you. I've played the ukulele for a few years now. I actually enjoy it very much. Here's the thing with the ukulele, it's only 4 strings. Guitar is so complicated for those jazz chords where it sounds kind of swingy. But guitar is harder to play with that. Ukulele, 4 strings, you sound jazzy. And it was like, wow, that's fantastic. I fooled you because I'm not really that good. But thank you, yes. Thank you very much.
Do you know how you can cut the tuba in half?
How is that?
With a bandsaw. Next question.
Turn the chair around, face the back. You just think about what you just did. Hi, how are you?
I just have one question.
All right.
So I work at the Hill Air Force Base, and I work with a lot of soldiers that come back with the PTSD.
Yes.
They have depression, anxiety.
Of course, yes.
What word of encouragement if you ever encounter one of these, there's a lot of people that have
Of course.
depression.
First of all, I told the Air Force people they should have joined a better service. It's a joke that I do in Salt Lake City. I've done a million shows, USO shows, I love it. The Army has their song. As those caissons go rolling along, right? The Marines from the halls of Montezuma, right? The Navy, the anchors away, my boys. The Air Force, off we go. Who decided on that song? Who decided? Nobody said, Colonel Bob, I think we should have something a little more like, we fly planes and we defend our country now. Off we go. I've met many people in the streets, and many who've had troubles from their service. The best man at my wedding was one of my best friends, Blake, who was a Vietnam veteran, who had great difficulties in his life because of his experience in the military. But in families, in broken psyches, in broken families, right? In broken hearts, we really know that a place to turn is humor, right? Is humor. Certainly not joking about that situation, because that was not funny. That was not funny. But joking about our humanity, right, to each other. Joking about our weakness, our foibles, our being all the same, right, under the skin. Just wounded people. And there are many psychologically wounded soldiers, you know, but there are wounded people everywhere. And I don't mean to minimize that. But I mean, I've tried to bring them humor, you know, love in my own way. And it's not perfect, but I do think it's the way back to realize you're a human being and to have a laugh about things. But we do our best. We do our best. That's great, yes. I didn't. I was about to give you permission, and now it's 2 more minutes. All right, turn around. I landed on the deck of an aircraft carrier. I did a USO show on the deck of an aircraft carrier. I was coming back from the Persian Gulf, and they had spun. Things were very tense then, and the poor sailors and Marines, there were Marines on aircraft, and they were coming back from the Persian Gulf, but they kept being turned around. So they said, Tom, we're doing this show for the sailors coming back from the Persian Gulf. Do you want to fly out, land on the deck, and do a show? And I said to him, you fly and do that thing where the hooked thing? No. Well, we did the training, and I did. I got on the deck. Trust me. You stop, and my spleen came out my eye socket. Okay. It's good to be here. We had a lot of fun doing that. How am I doing so far, Chris?
You're great.
Great. I can stay through Chris Lloyd too. It'll be great. You simmer down. What's your name?
My name is Jordan, and I'm just glad you let Chris out of his timeout. So, thank you for that. My question is for you with the music. What kind of music are you into, and what are some of your biggest influences?
Some of my biggest influences. This is going to sound weird, okay? But I was the guy in the Bible camp band with an acoustic guitar, you know, singing at church. With my, you know, so I came out like through folk music and Phil Keaggy, you know, all the hippie Jesus freak singers, songwriters of the 70s. That's my thing. But of course, the 70s rock was all that sort of thing. Dan Fogelberg, right? The Eagles, James Taylor, still on the road, still making it happen. Yeah. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. don't see them that clearly, but I think they're still out there. Come on, like I'm joking, okay? Come on. The Rolling Stones would start me up. Chris didn't say these things. I'm saying them. He didn't know. He's fine. He's fine. He's vlogging with the Rolling Stones next week.
All right, next question.
Okay. Well, he waited his whole life to ask you a question, but now he froze up. So, I will ask you my question. In your book of knowledge, who's going to win the game tomorrow, UCLA or the Utah Utes?
All right, let me start by saying, my wife went to UCLA, majored in math, because she's very smart. My brother-in-law went to UCLA, all my in-laws were UCLA people. I went to UCLA once for lunch. I really wasn't qualified to, into their entire program, but I bought one a pen. It was, it was good. What do you want me to say, man? I know where I am. Is that the kind of actor you want, huh? To get up here and go, I'm scared. Maybe I should say Utah. Get another guy.
We got.
We're already done?
Well, I think there's a time. I'm just gonna say this. There's a time for one more song. Can you do one more song?
I made hors d'oeuvres.
Can you do one more song, Chris?
Listen, okay.
We'll end on this wonderful song.
You'll know this. Please sing it with me. You know, the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television Review Artists are on strike right now, you know? And they have certain things that they ask us to do, not do, because we're trying. It's a long thing that I don't want to bore you guys. But you'd be surprised to know how many people just work hard to make a middle-class living, you know? In acting, in commercials, in television shows, in all that, you know, including myself. Oh my gosh. A lot of people make a middle-class living or a low-class living. It gets tougher and tougher. You guys know, hey, you know from your jobs, right? That it kind of gets harder and harder for less and less. Until you're going, honey, can we actually work this out? Or what's going on? Well, it's happening in every industry, and I don't want to bore you, like I said, but it's happening in the entertainment industry because it's a big, big, big business. So, not supposed to talk about this, not supposed to talk about that, but I'll sing a song, and if you want to, you can sing along because I believe in this too. All right, give me, okay.
The costumes, the scenery, the makeup, the props, the audience that lifts you when you're down. The headaches, the heartaches, the backaches, the flops. The sheriff who escorts you out of town. I know what that's like. The opening when your heart beats like a drum. The closing when the customers don't come. There's no business like show business like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing. Come on, Chris. Everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere can you get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow. There's no people like show people. They smile when they are low. Even in a turkey that you know will fold, you may be stranded out in the cold. Still, you wouldn't trade it for a pot of gold. Let's go on with the show. Let's go
Wait, he's videotaping this. You guys must show something really cool, Tom. Take out your phones, turn on the flashlights, and then on the count of 3, go nuts, okay? 1, 2, 3!